Hello, everybody. Welcome to day 5. So, I hope you are feeling better. This has been an absolutely wild ride. So, I hope that you listened to the integration sound bath for day 4. That was the only content that wanted to come through. I'm not gonna lie, I felt a little bit fried, and it was a lot. We were all experiencing a lot collectively. It was all a lot. So on day 5, I want us to discuss cell memory. So cell memory, we're just gonna dive right on in. So cell memory is something that happens to people all the time, and they have absolutely no clue that it is happening to them. So your cells carry memories, and your cells carry memories of your incarnation, your DNA, things that have happened to you in alternate incarnations, in other incarnations, in past lives, whatever you want to call it. Your cells carry those memories. So when we encounter things that are reminiscent or similar to things that we have experienced in past lives, our cell memory will kick in and we will re-experience those feelings, sometimes different versions of what happened previously may kick in. So I don't know if you've ever had this experience, but I've had this happen a lot, actually. Over and over and over it would happen. I would be having a particularly rough day a few years ago, and I would look at my Facebook memories and I would realize that something traumatic had happened on that day, or something particularly significant that was not desirable would have occurred on that day years prior, and I would have no memory of what the date was when it occurred, but I would simply see something and it would remind me of what was going on when I posted whatever that was, and I started to piece together that this was a really important thing. So smack dab here in this eclipse portal, in this Mercury retrograde that we have been creating this program in. So I did take a couple of days break on program content creation. I've learned a lot about myself and how I like to work in the creation of this program. So I'm so happy that you are along for the ride in this little research experiment we've been doing here with how we've been creating this program. I had to take a little bit of a break from the content creation just because I got really exhausted, and also the past couple of weeks have been a lot. So as of the recording of this, Mercury has officially gone direct, and things are feeling a lot better. I will tell you right now, I don't recommend trying to live create anything to do with this new earth shift. I'm going to say that to you right now. Please take my experience and just go, it's okay for us new earth leaders to have our experiences, and the work that we are doing here to facilitate this shift will come out in the time that it is exactly meant to come out in, and that's okay. So lots of ego release for me in the creation of this program. I hope you guys all know I have gone through it with ya if you have been going through it. So one big thing is to remember to look at this incarnation as we are experiencing a lot of things on a very heightened level, very much quicker, much briefer experiences, but we're having this kind of like back-to-back experience of reliving certain scenarios, certain experiences, move this mic out of the way a little bit before I really smack it. certain people coming into our lives, things that took an entire incarnation before, we're running through them in like smaller and smaller amounts of time. What used to take a couple of years is now taking a couple of weeks, right? So things are getting much, much quicker. And this cell memory kicks in, though, in many different ways. So one of the ways that is most important to be conscious of is with people in your life. So people will come into your life, and then they may very quickly vanish. And these may be people that you thought were terribly important. You may have felt this total soul connection with them. You may have really been like, yes, this is whoever this person is, right? And it could have been romantic, could have been familial, it could have been friend, business. I don't care what the connection is. Any connection is valid in this, right? And then all of a sudden something happens with that person and they exit your life, never to be like heard from again, right? That's happening to a lot of people that they thought they had this certain connection with. It's becoming very clear that they didn't. Well, what if you did? But what if it was just your cell memories of something that took an entire incarnation the last time for you to go through? You're experiencing that on a very heightened level. This also kicks in with people who keep experiencing the same themes over and over and over. So cycles that you may have found yourself stuck in. One really big one for starseeds and light workers is brokenness, not feeling abundant, prosperous, not being able to hold on to money when you get it, not charging for your services, not charging enough for your services, not monetizing your mission, not actually, because most of us really struggle with even knowing what the mission is, right? So how the fuck do you monetize it? And then there's all of the guilt that comes along with that, because we're carrying all of these lifetimes of all of this stuff that has happened where it wasn't safe to share your gifts. It wasn't safe to be who you truly are. It wasn't safe to any of this stuff, right? So that cell memory kicks in. Then you add on stuff, cell memory from this incarnation, cell memory from your physical DNA's lineage. I've got this theory right now. This is not proven, and I don't have a lot to base this on right now, so I'm just going to tell you guys this little theory that I'm working on right now. My theories have this habit of being true. I later learn how to explain them, but I have this theory that many of us who have been on Earth in multiple incarnations and over, that we have hyper-specifically chosen our vessels and our lineage for timeline purposes, to make sure that the timelines go the way that we want them to. And I can't really say much more than that, but if you were supposed to get that message and that was supposed to resonate with you and pop something off for you, super duper, that happened. Cool. So, Mira came in and opened the door, and my ego's come in because I can hear Michael downstairs cooking dinner. I love showing you guys this stuff, and my ego is also like, oh, we were having a time. It was a time. This past week has been a time. So if you weren't here for the live creation of this and you're now later having a time, I want you to know, boo, I feel you. And if you see how much brighter and lighter and shinier I look now, it's because I went through it right along with the creation of this program, and this is now how you get to vibe. I'm going to close the door real quick. Hold on. Alrighty, so back to it. So when our cell memory pops up, it's very important to look at why that cell memory has come up and to dive into it. And that's what most people don't want to do. Most people don't want to dive into the fact that, why the cell memory is coming up is why it's coming up, right? Because the stuff that comes up, it's often not fun, okay? So stuff comes up where, we have these themes that keep presenting that are not what we want to be experiencing, but we keep seeing them come up over and over and over. And a lot of the time, this is very subconscious or even unconscious for people. It's the littlest stuff, you guys. It might be, here's an example. I'm going to give you some examples, okay? So one example is, and I'm pretty sure I've already mentioned this in this program, but in a past life, our house got attacked. I got stabbed. It was a whole thing. That was one of my first memories upon awakening, truly awakening, that I relived. It was like they were just trying to kill our whole family. It was very traumatic to relive that. A lot. I relived it over and over and over because there was a lot to what happened. That has actually been the main theme that this incarnation has been breaking the cycles of, was everything that led up to that. So both Michael and then our roommate Dallas, who lives with us, who's like my cosmic research partner for eternity. So we all have this thing, like somebody drives past our house too slow and we're like, we are watching. And I notice it a lot in the boys because like things will happen. Like for example, a couple weeks ago, we had a really big storm and the electricity went out. And when the electricity went out, Dallas comes out to make sure that everything's okay and survey the house. And he's like, got his gun. And it's the cell memory. It's the wildest thing. I can see it. I can see it in myself. I can see it in them. They were both there that night. And it's a cell memory thing. And we've talked about it and we've talked about it, and they, we all know. We'll be like, oh, yep, there it is. There's the cell memory kicking in. Hello. It's the wildest thing, the littlest stuff. So when you start looking into the stuff that gives you anxiety, the little things that just set you off, what we're most likely talking about is cell memory. So when you begin to notice what that is then your self, your higher self, your true self, whatever you want to call it, going, hey, there's something here. You don't have to re-experience it, but we do need to remember it because it's part of our story and it's part of us, and it's part of what we're also here to experience on a much smaller scale, to break out of the fear and the uncertainty and all the bullshit that we will put ourselves through to avoid just admitting that we've had some not so great parts of these incarnations on Earth. Hi. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. It's fine. But that cell memory can begin to run your life if you're not careful. And we can experience a lot of stuff that we don't have to experience simply because the cell memory is just kicking in and we're not understanding it and we're not working with it. Okay, so we have a cell memory regulation frequency shot for you guys. It's going to be the next video after this one. I wasn't sure how much I was really going to have to say about cell memories, and I feel like I've kind of tapped into all of that. I feel like there's like one little tiny thing that I want to say next. Tomorrow, your content is going to be it's the journey to your Philosopher's Stone activation. And I'm very excited. I recorded this actually months ago. So I want to tell you guys about your content for tomorrow. We'll talk about that real quick. I think that was what it was. So I recorded this several months ago. The voices that you'll hear in there are Michael and Dallas. It was the first time that I had taken anyone else through this meditation. So this meditation activation was a pivotal turning point for me. When I was awakening right before when I was having my kind of cosmic awakening back in I think I did this in it was either 2020 or 2021. I can't remember which year it was. It was 2020 or 2021. I did this meditation, and it was inspired by a meditation that I did with a teacher of mine. And I did her meditation, and to be perfectly honest, I can't remember exactly what she said in hers, because I had this whole other experience, And this was not the first time that I had gone to this place where I'm going to take you guys tomorrow, or you can do it as soon as this video is over. If you want to binge the whole like thing and activate the fuck out of yourself, that's fine. I do recommend like being cautious, and if you start to feel the third eye fatigue, if you start to really feel worn out, ease off, take a little bit of a break. You don't have to do this all in one. You don't even have to do this in 9 days. Okay. You don't, whenever you do this is whenever it's time to do it. Okay. So that was one thing that I have learned over the creation of this program is I was like, you know, this is a lot back to back. You absolutely don't have to do all of this. If you need a little integration break, that's okay. Some people need integration breaks. Some people don't take integration breaks. They integrate as they go. So it's really up to you, just so long as you're comfortable. So this activation though, I went on this journey and I had this really wild experience where I was seeing these crystal caves under the earth, and I went and I got my Philosopher's Stone, and then I went on this I went on the rest of the journey, and in the rest of the journey it was just very activating for me. It was amazing. So I took the boys on this journey. Actually, it was recorded in the office. I was sitting right where I'm sitting right now, recording this video. So a few months ago, it was like right at the end of 2022, somewhere in there, I recorded this and I took them on this journey. And so I didn't know why I was recording it. I just knew that we needed to record it, and then I realized that it is your day 6 content. So that is what you will have tomorrow. Your Philosopher's Stone, if you're not familiar with the concept of the Philosopher's Stone, I have studied alchemy for ever. And it's kind of one of my soul's specialties. And so the Philosopher's Stone is what it was said that the alchemists were trying to achieve. And unfortunately, most of the information that you will ever read about alchemy these days is incorrect, and that's why no one can do it these days. The truth of alchemy is, the mantra of the alchemist was aurum nostrum non est aurum vulgi, and that means our gold is not the common gold. Everything about alchemy is truly about the soul and the spirit, and the fact that we are multidimensional, cosmic, infinite beings, and death is an illusion, separation is an illusion. There is more on heaven and earth, Horatio, than has been dreamt of in your philosophies, as the artist known as Shakespeare said. So the Philosopher's Stone was said to be the key to immortality, the elixir of life. In recent popular culture, many things about the Philosopher's Stone have been put into the cultural perspective. And really, for me, what this activation was I reconnected with my higher self on a level that I wasn't even anticipating. When I went into this initial meditation, and what I experienced was so far beyond what I had anticipated experiencing. I was like, I was just going on a meditation, and I went on a meditation. So it was so impactful for me that I knew it was very important for me to bring it to other people, and I knew that it was going to help activate a lot of other people and connect them with themselves, because your Philosopher's Stone is the reconnection with yourself as source. BT dubs. So I love this activation and this journey. It is an amazing journey. It's one I definitely want you to feel free to come back to whenever you want to. Honestly, I've gone back there a lot, to be honest. I like to so I'll go on these meditations or these astral travels, or sometimes just for my dreams, and then I like to astral project back to the places that I've gone, so that I can kind of see more And also, they're just really nice. So this is one of the nicest places in the astral realm I've ever been to. So I'm very excited for you to go there and experience it because it is super fun. So that is going to be your day 6 content. You will find the cell memories regulation frequency shot as the next video. So as with all of our frequency shots, I want you to put it on. I want you to vibe. Frequency shots, you can really use them. You don't have to be in a meditative state when you do use them. If you meditate with them with the intent of, focusing on, hyper specifically for this one, focusing on what cell memories are most prevalent for you right now, what cell memories are being called up for you to recognize that they are showing up for release, showing up for recognition. Sometimes you just want yourself to acknowledge, like, oh yeah, we went through that. That happened. Cool. That's it. Sometimes it's just about the acknowledgement, right? It's really not that big of a deal. We just make everything such a big deal because we've been programmed to make everything such a big deal. So if you feel like you're having a lot of cell memories caused, anxiety and things like that, you can always put this on. Just have it on in the background. Have it on while you're doing the dishes, while you're sleeping, whatever floats your boat. We have a whole playlist also of frequency shots now on the Ascended Frequencies YouTube, so you can find that. Just go to the frequency shot, that's the next video, and you can go to the Ascended Frequencies YouTube and find our frequency shots playlist, as well as everything else that we have on there. Michael makes the music and I channel the codes, so that's really fun. So put that on, work with that frequency, and then have fun on your astral travels tomorrow, and I will see you back for, let's see, it's gonna be day 7. See you back for day 7 very soon.